Today, I want to talk to you guys about Heist. I know a lot of people are asking about Heist. I know a lot of people are talking about Heist. I know there's a really bunch of interesting things that come out of Heist. And Heist is one of those things that I feel like would be a video that's going to be really long. But today we're going to kind of cut it down into parts, and I'm going to give you the basic gist of Heist, what's going on, how to start setting up your rogues. And then in the next part of this video, we'll talk about the actual running, what to do, and so forth and so on. But today I want to talk to you about the very basics of Heist, what Heist is, how to get started. Essentially, Heist is two parts. One, there's the contract side of Heist, and two, there's the blueprint side of Heist. When we do the blueprint side of Heist, now blueprints have all the items condensed into one singular type. Back before in the day, the blueprints used to be split up into different types where you'd have gems, replica items, and all kinds of different things. And now everything's condensed into one singular thing, which is really cool. So you can run contracts. Contracts give you reveals. Reveals are what we use on our blueprints to identify and reveal the blueprints. Now, we're going to talk in another video about what I'm supposed to do with blueprints. Should I reveal them? Should I not reveal them? Should I look at wings? Should I not look at wings? But we're going to save that for later, as that's a whole complicated topic. Today, I want to focus on just the basics and setting up your rogues. Why is setting up your rogues so important? Well, step one, when we run a blueprint, we have to assign rogues to the blueprint, and they need to be leveled and ready to go. So you see this guy's level 6, this guy's level 5, this one's level 2. And we just pretty much want to have rogues that are assigned and able to run all of our blueprints without problems. The other really interesting thing about our rogues is we want them all to have different sets of gear so that they can do their job inside of a blueprint really well. What does that mean and what's going on? Well, when I come into a heist and I have the dreaded doors, so we have these dreaded doors that everybody hates. When we get to this part of Heist, you see that this is a door that needs to be opened by a rogue. Now, without having the proper setup, clicking on one of these doors will take forever. Opening this door kind of sucks. Now, for those of you who don't know, you can actually press V on your keyboard and open this. So if I press V and I go to open this door, you see right away the door is open and I can just walk in and walk out, no problem. So when you set up your rogues and you get everything up and running, going room to room and having them open the doors for you is not a problem anymore. The only thing that'll really slow you down is pretty much just like waiting to figure out what's in a room. And then when you click on the thing and the door and the alarm goes off, that's the other part that really slows you down. So like you see, we have the brute force here. He just kind of opens the door. We have the brute force here. He kind of opens the door. And, we have this, he opens the door and we leave. Now, overall, this blueprint that we ran, with me explaining it and taking the time to show the doors and stuff opening was pretty slow. If we just happened to go grab another one and we just were to run it like we would normally run it, we assign our rogues, we get them going, we grab our blueprint, we open it up, we put the blueprint in, we store our really cool item, we open and we go. Now, this video is not going to talk about the rewards of Heist. We don't care about the rewards right now in Heist. All we care about is setting it up so that our rogues blow things up. You see how fast it is to get going. And you see my character's a little fast. I'm not really paying attention. I'm getting stuck on everything because I'm a little too fast. And we just kind of we navigate the hell that is the maze that is, Heist. Get here, come here. Divine Orb, pretty good. Not divines, wrath sword, tempering orb, nice, dude. Back-to-back tempering orbs, man. That's so sweet. I was really hoping while showcasing this that I'd be able to have the really cool effect happen of being able to loot multiple grand heist items, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So let me get out of here and explain what's going on and why I'm able to do these as fast as I'm able to do these. You see that the doors, they do slow you down. They are unfortunate. It is a part of Heist that you can get over, and it's not that bad of a thing to worry about once you have the right gear and stuff set up. That's pretty cool. Back-to-back tempering orbs. Okay, let's talk about Heist. In Heist, there are 9 rogues. You unlock the rogues when you go into Heist for the first time, and you start running contracts. Unfortunately, every single league, you have to unlock and level the rogues. In previous leagues, you would run a bunch of contracts and you would level the rogues. This league, I actually tried a little bit different. I leveled my rogues inside of blueprints because we're not revealing the blueprints, we're running them base, and I would just run like 10 or 15 blueprints. Everybody was leveled up immediately, and you didn't have a problem. So every character or every rogue specializes in a certain thing. For example, Karst can get to level 5 in lockpicking. Niles can get to level 5 in counter thaumaturgy. Huck, we don't really care about. Huck will be leave for another video. We use him for maps, actually. He follows us around in maps. Tibbs is the guy for brute force, and he's the guy for demolition. Ninette gets the level 5 in perception. Vendiri gets the 5 in demolition and trap disarmament. You'll notice that he is 6 here and Tibbs is 6 here, and we'll get to that too. Talina gets the 5 in agility. Gianna gets the 5 in deception, and Isla gets the 5 in trap disarmament and engineering. And once again, engineering, we have her at 6. Each one of these rogues is going to be outfitted with a special set of items, and these items are all very important, and I'm going to show you how to get the items, how to roll them, and what to do. Now, each rogue is going to have a cloak, each rogue is going to have a tool, each rogue is going to have some sort of sharpening stone thing, arrowhead, whatever the heck these are in this part, and each rogue is going to have a brooch. Now, depending on how you want to handle Heist and depending on how you want to do things will indicate how you want to roll your gear and what's going on. Every piece of gear, the main stat that you would like to roll is job speed. Job speed you want on everything if possible. Job speed is what you saw that allows me to be able to press the V key, have the doors open immediately, and me be able to go room to room without having to spend a lot of time waiting for the rogues to do what they do. Now, you can get job speed on all of this gear very easily with Reforged Speed on the Harvest bench. But this league, if you're watching this during Affliction League, Harvest uses about 1,200 to a Divine. So it's like really expensive to just go like Reforged Speed on all this stuff to hope to get good tiers of speed. What you can do is if you have something and it's not terrible, so like these are like tier 2. I'm actually looking for one that I have that's like pretty bad. This guy, this one's like not even rolled for job speed. So like this guy can be so much faster. You make these rare, you type the word speed in here, and then you grab a couple of chaos orbs, and then you see right there with tier 3, this is tier 4, and then, you know, a couple of chaos orbs later, you have tier 3 again. And this can be possibly cheaper depending on the league and when you look at it and when you do it, to do some chaos spamming or buy these done or do harvest. I just rolled over it because, you know, why not? There's tier 2. We're done. Extra spot. Slam it. Call it a good day. Ooh, call it a good day. So this was on Tibbs. Now, each one of these characters will have a brooch. You'll do the same thing for all your brooches. You'll roll them all for job speed. Now, the other character or other slot, which you see, like, I need to go get one for Tibbs. I didn't even realize I didn't even have one. You can have these arrowheads or these, I don't know what they're called actually, but these are items that you can have that, once again, can have more job speed on them. And tier 1 gives you 20%. So you can have 40% here and then more job speed. So you want to do the same thing. You want to get, actually, I need to look these up now. I'm very curious what these are called. You can actually look them up on Craft of Exile. You can go over here to Heist, and then you can go to, I guess they're trinkets. They might be, no, they're not trinkets. Contracts, cloak, brooches, blueprint, gear. Is it gear? They're gear. It's called gear. There's a burst band, a stone, and an arrowhead. So they're gear. So the gear, so you can re-roll the gear. My God, those goblins are annoying. Great MTX, but terrible. Play a different tune. So anyways, all of your rogues should have brooches with job speed. They should have gear with job speed. And then each single character should have their own unique tool. Oh, it actually says gear and tool on this. Each one of your characters should have their own piece of gear dedicated to them. So for example, Talina has Silkwave Souls. Ninette's got the Sensing Charm. Tibbs has the Steel Bracers. Karst has the Metal Lockpick. Niles, I've got to still go get his. Gianna's, I got to go get hers. Isla's has a Blowtorch. Vendiri has Flash Powder. Each one of these tools is going to give you job speed or action speed for your rogue in their unique field. So for example, Vendiri gets demolition speed. Isla gets engineering speed. Talina gets agility speed. Tibbs gets brute force. And that's just extra speed for those particular jobs. Now, these items, you want to roll them for more job speed or more perception speed or more speed of the intended use of them so that the rogue, when they bring them into a grand heist or contract, they do that door faster. So you can see my Nanette has perception speed. My Talina has just job speed. My Isla has +1 level of all jobs. We're going to touch on that in a second. This guy has plus the level of demolition. Nanette, you know, perception speed. Niles, we still have to get. Karst has lockpicking speed. The moral of the story is your brooches, your gear, and your tools should all have speed. Now, certain rogues, if you notice, like Tibbs has level 6 here. Vendiri is level 6 here. And then Isla's level 6 here. Certain rogues you are going to need in a higher level. So you want to keep note of this. This is very important. You want to make sure that Isla has a tool. Her tool has to have +1 level of all jobs. This is how you get to level 5 and 6 here. You want to have Tibbs, the same thing, +1 level of all jobs. So he goes to 6 and 5. And Vendiri, you would also like to have +1 level so that he's engineering 3, trap disarmament 6, and demolition 6. The reason why you do this is when you run your blueprints and you go to assign your rogues, you want to make sure that when you click on each one of these to assign, you have the ability to have different rogues. So bringing double Vendiri is bad. So I want to make sure that I can bring Isla. Isla for this is level 5 because of the max. And this is the only way that I can bring Vendiri and Isla, or Tibbs and Isla, right? So you want to make sure that you have these +1 to level so that whenever you assign a contract and you run your contract, or your blueprint, I should say, you're able to bring in the extra rogue so that you don't double up. Now, the reason why this is so important is each one of your rogues has to have a cloak. That's the last piece of gear that's really important for all of your rogues. And these cloaks have some very unique line of text on them. That line of text says it is a 5% chance to not activate lockdown in Grand Heist. Now, in previous leagues, when we did gems, this was really cool because if you have 3 rogues and each one of these rogues has a cloak, it is a 15% chance to not activate lockdown in Grand Heist. What does that mean? Pretty much essentially that means when I go to run this Grand Heist right now and I put this in and I open it up and I get to the end of the Grand Heist, you're going to see, you know, the alarm is going to go off. So there's an alert level. I come into the Grand Heist. I start running all around. I click on the doors. If I click on this, the alert level goes up, right? If I click on this, the alert level goes up. So as you're running your Grand Heist and you're doing things, your alert level goes up. Now, your alert level can be at any level that you need it to be at, but the minute you get to the end and the minute you look at your items here and you choose an item, like, for example, if I were to take this Citadel bow with ailment modifiers, I wish it was 86. If I were to take these regrets or this eternity shroud, it doesn't matter which one I take, and I'll take one for science. If I take this, you see, and I highlight over it, my alert level bar goes to full right away. So as soon as I break this, you get one, you can have one click on each of them before it breaks, just to be sure. The minute I crack this glass, the alarm immediately goes off. So now the alarm went off, but with the cloaks, every so often, you'll have a 15% chance for that alarm to not go off. And I was kind of really hoping that during the course of this video that would happen, and I can really showcase it to you. It doesn't happen often, but it's a mistake to not have it. Essentially, pretty much what I mean is if you're going to run Heist, it is like, I don't want to say crucial, but it's pretty viable and pretty necessary to have these. I've had wings that have had tempering and tailoring orbs, and I've managed to get both. I've had wings that have had 2 really good replica items. I've managed to get both. I've had wings that have had a tempering or tailoring orb and a replica, and I've managed to get both. I had a wing earlier that had a helical ring, and I was able to get the helical ring and something else. I was able to get a cogwork ring plus something else in a wing, and it makes sense to have it. The problem is like, you probably have to roll your cloaks for it. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to roll your cloaks for it. And you just kind of like alt spam your cloaks until you hit it. But you do want this item on all of your rogues. Yes, job speed is important. If you manage to alt spam for not activated level in Grand Heist and you exalt, or so you alt aug regal and then exalt and you hit job speed, you're thrilled. You can buy the cloaks with it on it. It's a little bit of a pain. I guess they're not that expensive with the raising alert level. You might as well just buy them then. Oh wait, that's the wrong mod. Oh, see, I'm an idiot. I looked at the wrong mod. There it is. Yeah, see, there's just not a lot of cloaks. I knew it. I knew something was wrong when I looked at it. There's just not enough cloaks, right? Because you need 8 of them, right? Because you want to make sure that each one of your rogues has one, and that's where the pain in the butt part comes in. So you really have to, like, you have no choice. You have to roll your own, which kind of sucks. You saw the cloaks are 5C to buy, so they're really cheap to buy, but you really don't want to be doing these grand heists, especially if you don't have the cloaks. It's not worth the risk to, like, you know, come into here and not have that as an option to be able to get them. Sure, the odds of, like, getting something good are, like, not what they used to be in Heist. Of course not. I mean, Heist is a completely different beast altogether, right? But you never want to be the guy to come in and see, like, Replica Dream Feather and Tempering Orb, or Replica Dream Feather and something else, and just not be able to get both. So, like, there's a Tempering Orb and then nothing else. But I mean, like, if there was something else, right? There you go. It worked. See, the alert level didn't go off. Perfect. Perfect. So now I could grab something else, like this Quill Rain, or I can grab these Void Boots. Like, this is what I'm talking about. And if you get one wing like this that has something really good and the alarm doesn't go off, you just leave, right? You don't need to wait for anything. You just grab your item, all the doors are open, and you just leave. But if, you know, if there's a second item that you really want, you can click it again and grab the second item. I don't want any of those, but there is a world where you click that second item and you get that second item and the 15%er happens again. And you can get 3 items. This is what I mean. Like, it's such a mistake to not have it, because the odds of hitting something good and then having something else good, while slim, it's still putting yourself in a position for it to happen. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that. And that's Heist. That's the gear, you know. And just to recap, you want to have a brooch, a gear, a tool, and a cloak. Everything wants job speed on it, except the cloaks. The cloaks want activate level in Grand Heist. Vindiri, Tibbs, and Isla want tools with +1 level of all job skills for Heist. Otherwise, that's what you do. You just either reforge speed on all your stuff until you get a speed tier that you like. If reforge speed is cheap enough, spam some chaos, spam some alterations, and you just set up all your rogues. For now, that's how you set up the rogues to get started. We'll talk about running the blueprints, what to do, what not to do, items that are good in the next one. And then later on, we'll talk about the character. If you want this character, my profile is public. You should be able to find a link to it in the description down below, and you can pull it. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys and look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.